Hello everyone. Today we will continue with how to display detailed food and ingredient lists using list type and list view. Okay. So in the previous lesson we have a component or stack here, and what is the problem when you tap to this stack or you tap your finger to this item list on this stack? So we must add a function of on tap. So how to use on tap? We use inkwell. Inkwell allow you to receive your tap or your pressing. Okay. So the child inkwell is a stack, and the property of on tap is a function on event. An event allow you to process when you tap to the inkwell or to the stack. Okay, so after you tap to this, you can navigate to you using material page router and navigate to detail food page. Navigate to detail food page, and now I want to define the detailed food page by right click to leave new and detailed food page file here, a Dart file here, and I define a class of detailed food page. Firstly, import the material art and define the class detailed food page. Extend from stateless widgets. Stateless widgets because it the state does not change, or we don't have state. Okay, and I import the detailed food page here. Import in food page and command S to save. Yes, command S to save. And in this I return a scaffold using art bar. Title is the text. The text here is detailed food, and the body here is center. Yes, the body is center, and the child center is the text and detailed food. And I set the style for this font size with font size 30. Okay, and I override. Okay, so this is detailed food. Yes, it is detailed food. Okay, and if you want to send parameter, you can use constructor. So we define the constructor for detailed food page, and I send the food object from the food list to the detailed food page and this food. Okay. So we have a property of food in detailed food page, and you must import the food class from model to here. Okay, you get food from here, and now you can yes, food page, and detailed food page here. Okay, this is food page, and we display food name. We display food name here. It's a up bar. So after pressing to here, we can see the food name Neapolitan pizza. Yes, I can see the food name. The detailed food name in a separate widgets and a separate page, separate screen. And we can use a column with the children from up to down. So the first children here is a center. Yes, I copy the fader image like here, I paste it to here. Yes, and I can have a text of ingredient. Yes, ingredient to copy paste to here. Yes, and the text here to print ingredient list, and I need to debug the program here by printing ingredient, print in ingredient array. Yes. So we have the ingredient like here, an array of string, tomato sauce, Fortina cheese, pepperoni, etc. Yes. Okay, so the text below the ingredient, we have a list view builder with item count, with item builder. Yeah, the item builder to build every item is a list. Yes, so we have a function like here, item builder. Yeah, and I return a widget inside this. The widget here is quite simple, so I use a list tile. Yeah, list tile, and this.food ingredient.index. I get the specific ingredient and return list tile. And the leading here is text. We define a text as a leading, and the text display the number. Yes, and the title here display the ingredient name. The ingredient name. Yes, so we have a detail like here. Yes, so we show a list tile up to display a list of string ingredient, and I use expanded here. The expanded here gets the remain height, of the column. So here we have a list like here, and after you press to here, we have a list of ingredient, and you can change the font size, you can change the size for something. Yes. And I display the index. Yes, I display the index here. Okay, so we have a list of ingredient string. We have a list of ingredient string, and the leading here we can add it into the circle avatar. The circle avatar give you a circle and with the text inside. So we set a circle avatar with the child. We add the text inside the circle avatar, and set background, set the text for circle avatar. Yes. Okay. At the style here, I set the font size and the color white, and the color black here. Okay, and then Command S to save, and we change the font size. We change the font size of the ingredient by setting the style for ingredient text. Yeah, text for ingredient. Font size 22. Yes, and you can add more padding by surrounding it by a container. And the font weight change a little bit font weight. Okay, so quite convenient to define additional property and additional something we can add more inside this list. So we change this to container, and I set the decoration for the container by padding. Set padding, yes, vertical for 20 pixel for the width, and for 20 pixel for up and 20 pixel down. Yes, so we have here. Okay. Yes, and here you can see the food page. The food page like here, and yes, the child, I cut this, and I add if the food length is bigger than 0, or we have food, for simplify, we have food, then we display the list view. Otherwise I display a text specifies that no food found. Okay, yes, quite convenient to use. And change the font size to 25. Okay, yes, and reload it. Okay, yes, very easy to use. So in the case we have food, it shows the list, otherwise it only shows no food found. Okay, so I think it is the end of my lesson today, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye and see you next time. Hello everybody, today we continue with the next lesson of the application of food app. Mean an application to show your food, your some of the category of food, and a list, and how to display a list view, and how to navigate between screen. Yes, and it is a small app, and we will add more technical inside this application, so you can understand through the example inside the application to see detail about a small application. So firstly, create a package name model. So inside this we have some model or entities, so create a new Dart file, and the Dart file here may be category, and we have some category of food. We have some food category, and we delete some unnecessary file. We create a new Dart file, and the Dart file may be category. Okay, category or .dart, and this is a class to the store to define the object of category, and this is also model or entity. Yeah. This entity or this model has some kind of some property. ID is final and can be changed, and content, yes, and color. ID, content, color is final, mean it is initialized one time and cannot change, cannot reference to another property, but it can change the property. Okay, so the category here as a constructor, so it defines the constructor. ID is required or must be not null, and the content must be okay. Content must maybe the content, and the color. The color here is the color of the category. Yes, category. So we define a new file. We create a new Dart file, not file. So enter the name, maybe fake data. Fake data means the data auto generated for testing only. Yeah. For testing, you create a generated data, and I call this is a fake category. The fake category is an array, and I import the model, the category model from the model folder, and I generate many category objects here by calling the constructor, calling the category constructor with label parameter. Example, category ID. ID here is from 1 and increment by 1, so 1, 2, 3, and the content, color, as we define many property inside an object of category, a category object. So have 3 category or with 3 color. Yes. So we define the fake data with those pre-generated data. Okay, so we create a new Dart file, and I give it name category category page or screen. Then we have convention of how to define the name, like uppercase. So the file is uppercase, and is a lowercase, and so the class category page extend from state languages, because in this page we do not have the function of insert, delete a category by. Okay, so we don't have those functions, and we return a grid view. A grid view is a list, but we can have two have vertical item and horizontal items. So grid delegate, we have some theme or delegation from the Dart library. You can choose various type of so here we choose a silver grid delegate with mark cross axis extend. So we set the mark cross axis extend, or the width axis maximum, and the child aspect ratio is which is width divided by height ratio. So it's ratio. And the main axis spacing, the spacing here is the spacing between horizontally and vertically. Yes. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. Hello everybody, today we continue with the food application, and we customize the grid view or a list of grid, and I can customize the grid view in this. So firstly, we customize the category item in the list of items or the grid view of the items. Okay, so we move to fetch data, and in the fetch data we have some category objects with ID, content, color, and we define a Dart file name. And the Dart file here is category items. Item means every cell in the grid view, or every item in the grid view. And I define the category item extend from the state list, which is because we do not change the the property inside the item directly, so we define it as a stateful widget. Yes, we define it as a stateful widget. Then in here we have one category item has one category object. Yes, one category. So the relation here is 1:1. One category has one category object. So a category object is of the property of category item, because one at category item only displays the information of one category. So we define the constructor of category item here. We define the constructor here, the constructor with label arguments. Okay, so in build function we return a container, and the container has so the text inside the text, so the category content. Okay, yes, it's very basic category item for grid view. So now I open the grid view. I want to convert the category array to the category item array. So we use map. Map will convert an array to an array with the same size but different kinds or different object type. So the category.map, and we have a function name, a function each category, and the return function is a new type. So here in this screen I set the body to the category page, or the list of category, the category page or the list of category. And run again. So wait a few seconds to load the simulator, the emulator area, or the actual device, okay. So run its code build again and wait a few seconds to see the output. Yes, it's code always longer than Android Studio. Okay, so here we have a list as Japanese food, pizza and hamburger. Okay, but the list is not beautiful, it's ugly, so we must customize more. You can scroll. Yes, it is a very basic scroll view, and you must customize more, customize the grid view more for easier to see, for easier to understand. Yes, and here you set the child to be the center, the child is the text, and here I can customize the aspect ratio with 3 divided by 2, means the width is 3 part and the height is 2 part. Yes, this is the aspect ratio of the item, the aspect ratio of the item. Okay, so remove this and remove the center and replace the center to category item. Yes, okay, container, container, the child here is touch inside. Okay, the same, no problem. And now I customize this a little bit. So how to customize? You can container has box decoration. Yes, so box decoration is the decoration property of a container, and we set the color to the color of the specific object, of the specific category object. So this dot category got color, and we change the text style to change the color of the text style to white. We change the font size, we increase the font size. Yes, and we set the gradient. The gradient means the color change from color A to color B. Then the color is an array. We have 2 color and many, and an array. The color will change from color A to color B and color C. Yes, inside the list or inside the array of color. Yes, so here the color, but the color is internal variable, so you can use underscore convention. The underscore convention means that the variable is private. Okay, so we can change the opacity with a function with opacity. Opacity means change the color with the existing color with specific opacity. We can change the direction of the gradient from top left to bottom right. Here's the top left, left and bottom right, and from the begin to the end. The begin is top right and the end is bottom left. Yes, you can display for you the color by gradient. The linear gradient has various type of gradient, but simplify to use linear gradient. Yes. Okay, so now I can set the decoration object. The decoration can reuse for many other container. That's very useful when you want to use the same decoration. And you can set the box radius to the border radius circular 20. Yeah, so you border the border radius circular. Yes, and you can set the child to the column. If you want to set the internal and you insert the text inside the column and then set the column, the main axis alignment or cross axis alignment of the column to center, that the text is aligned to center. Yes, so we have two texts aligned in the center. We increase the font size, 18 is enough, and the font weight is bold is okay. Yes, bold is okay now. And then we can set other property of this text. This is style. Yes, we have many way to set, and we get the color to white. Yes, white color is better. It is, yes, and you can also change the color of by open the fake data to the, yes, open the fake data for, yes, and you can change the value here, for example pink. Yeah, yes, Command S to save. Okay, so you can change as you like to design your user interface, to design what color you like. But the color in material is quite beautiful, as I know. You can also set the primary swatch, or set the color, and then I set the center title for the up bar here. Yes, and it removes this, the title for the up bar title is always at the center. Okay, and I set the padding to 12. Okay, the padding 12 for top, bottom, left, and right. Yes, this is padding for your widgets. So I can change here to Italian floor. Yes, you can change the color. Okay, so you want to add more. Yes, you can add more meal and yogurt, add more vegetable. Okay, okay. Yes, so the interface here now is quite beautiful with a list of the color. Yes, quite beautiful, quite easier to see, quite beautiful and good, maybe good. Yes, so I increase the ID to, as increased by 1. Okay, so fruit, vegetable, fruit, as change the color. Okay, and you test by scrolling, and you can also test for a long list by increase more fixed objects. And you can also add inside a save area to remove the save area from iPhone X, iPhone XR, yes, etc. From iPhone X we have and some Android we have the save area, yes. Okay, so now Command S. Okay, so quite good. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye, and see you next lesson. Hello everyone. Today we continue with the Flutter tutorial, and in this tutorial I will install the theme and add more fonts to the existing food app. So the food application here will display a list of category, list of food category, and we have some of the property of the list or the grid view, like the aspect ratio. If you give it 3 divided by 3, so it is square. So this is square. Okay, so here it is the child aspect ratio, width divided by height. The width divided by height, it means 3 parts divided by 2 parts. Yes, and you can set the space between every cell in your grid view. So here you can add now change the phone family from Google phones. So you open Google Fonts, and then we navigate to some of your favorite font size, and here we have various kind of font size with font name and font style. For example, we choose e-theme. I-theme, I save this file to your computer and go to your show in Finder, right click and extract this fonts and copy this folder, and paste to my application and paste to. So you define a file name assets, and inside the asset you have fonts, okay, and paste to here. Yes, so we have the iTheme folder here with the two type of fonts. TTF means true type font. So in this I open the pubspec.eyamas and reveal in folder for checking the correct part of your fonts. Okay, so it is the correct part of your fonts. So the family is iTheme, and then you can use this by adding to an existing font family, and you can add the font family inside the theme. For example, iTheme and the theme and the text theme will be text theme data.line, the text area copy with the body 1. Yes, so you can use the property of body 1 and body 2 for styling the text, and you can get the body from the text style here. Okay, so that is the specification for body 1 and body 2 of the text. Okay, so you can set a standard and a global font family and font themes for this. Okay, so we have color, we have text theme, we have font family with primary swatch as a background color for the up bar. Okay, and you set the title. The title here also have the text style, font size about 25, and the font family to the name of the fonts. Okay, you can also add more fonts like here by download the Cincinnati. So we use two type of fonts. Right click and so in folder, in Finder, and open, and then you copy the Sunshiny and paste to the fonts folder inside the asset folder. Yes, inside the asset folder, and checking for the TTF file. And okay, do not rename this file, it is unnecessary. So in pubspec.yaml, you copy this code line, paste to here, and change a little bit, change the font name, the font location, or the set here means the location, and replace the font family in this line by Sunshiny. Okay, and relaunch the program again by restart the application to apply some data relating to the asset and the fonts and images. Okay, so font family here I can choose iTheme, for example. Okay, so we can see the output like here, and this is the content, the category content, and I set the style for the category content. and I can get from the theme data by calling theme.up and context dot etc dot text theme title. Okay, so I get the title from here as a font size and Sunshiny, and I can choose a font size increase. Okay, now yes, okay, so it is very convenient for you to set up your fonts, insert in your existing application, and change the graphic user interface. Yes, I will see here. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. Hello everyone. Today we continue with from the previous lesson, and in this lesson we will transmit the parameter between two screens using constructor. So in the previous lesson we have a list of category, food categories, and now I want to press to the item is a grid view, and after you press to the item, the program, the application will navigate to the list of food or the food array, which has a specific category as you choose. So here in the container, in the build function of category item, we have the container, and now I want to press to set the on press or the tap. So if you tap to this container, it will navigate to the list of food. Yes, this is my okay, so I use inkwell. I create an inkwell here with the child, and the child of the inkwell here is a container. You copy the container to the child inkwell, and the on tap here, you on tap in here, you print tap to category. Yes, you can use this name, tap to category item. And now, okay, now when you tap, when you press to the specific category, you can see you tap to the category item. Okay, tap to category, and you can also concatenate string to this dot category dot content. Yes, this dot category dot content to get the content value, content property of the specific category object. Okay, so this is the first. So the second is the second thing we must do is list. How to display a list of food. Yes, specified by this category. So I can change the splash color, change the color to here, deep purple. The splash color is a color when you click, it is called the splash color. Splash color is a color when you click a very short time, it displays a very short time. At a very short time. So now the page or your screen are stored into a stack, like in is a page, and the current stack or the current screen or page is at the top of the stack. Yeah. So navigate using navigate up context push to navigate to the new screen. The new screen is surrounded by a router, material page router, and you build router from page, from widgets. You add the widgets inside the router, and you navigate, you push the router inside the navigation or inside the navigator. So here it is my food list, my food page. Okay, so this page will display a list of food objects So now right click to lib, add a Dart file and name it maybe foot page. Foot page is a widget for the page to display a list of foot. Okay, so in this file I import the material material.dart. I create a foot page which extends from the stateless widgets because the list here do not change. You cannot add or remove item in the foot. Yes, but it can in the case it can insert or update. Then it will become stateless stateful widgets. Okay, and run the program again. Okay, so after pressing to it navigate to the foot page, and now I will customize the foot page to display more precisely. Yes, so here in scaffold I replace so here I can style text style with the font size, increase the font size. Okay, increase the font size for easier to see. Yes, the art bar here is a foot from category, and you have the back button. Yes, okay, the back button will display for you to navigate back and navigate back and forward to the list of foot. Okay, so now we continue to customize. So you can send the parameter using constructor. Yes, you have a constructor and you send the parameters using through the constructor. So in the source page, so foot page has a property of category. Yes, you send the category from here. You send this. Okay, so you send the parameter or send the category objects from here to foot page using the constructor. Yes, using constructor. So in here I can change the foot from category dot content. Yes, so using your open and close bracket, category dot content. Yes. Okay, and you see that food from pizza, food from Japanese food. Okay, and food from yogurt. Okay, good, and food from fruit, etc. You can send the category object from the grid view to the list of food. Okay, so is there any way to send parameter? Yes, I use router name. I can use router name. If you don't use the constructor, you can use the router name. But as my opinion, the constructor is better because you can customize it easily. You can add and add more objects, but very flexible. Yes. So after navigate to the next screen, is not dismiss mean pop. So you can use the push name to navigate to the next screen. So you navigate to the next screen with context, and the second parameter foot page is a router name. Yes, the router name, and the argument here is parameter sent to the next screen. The argument like key and value with category. Yes, and you send to the next screen. Okay, so it is the end of my lesson today about sending parameter to new screen. Thank you so much for watching. Hello everyone. Today we continue with the next lesson about how to send a parameter using router name and how to define some object with one-to-many relation. So in the previous lesson we send parameter to the next screen, and I use the router name. The router name means screen name or the way to navigate from this screen to another screen or this page to another page. Yes, so we must define in the material app widgets. We define the initial router. The initial router is a root. Yes, a slash is a root, and the router here. The router property here, and yeah, this is a router name. Value is a function. The function return to the initialization of the destination page. Okay, so we have food page mean food page, and category page here. A string or a router name mean navigate to the category page. Okay, so food page is router name, so you don't save like this. Please use a static variable. Let's define a static constant or static variable inside the class. So in food page class, I define constant. A static constant mean a fixed value. So I define the router name from the class name. Then I can call to this by simply adding category page dot router name. Okay, class name dot router name. So we replace it with food page dot router name. Yes, and I run. Okay, so run the program again. Yes. Okay, something wrong with my code because you do not define the this dot category in the food page. This category in food page now is null, so you must add the value to it. So open food page, and from here I navigate to the okay, so here I define maybe so here. Okay, here, so remove. So I set the category property of food page to the arguments. Argument now is a map with key and value, and I get the key category from arguments and get the value means the object of the category. So review your application again and click to here. It will show the detail or the list of food depending on the category. Okay, so this is a list food according to the category. And what about this? So now I define the model or the list of objects. We have a fake food. Fake food mean one category has many food, so it is the array of food objects. In food object we must have category ID to make sure that the category has many food, and each food is related to a specific category or category ID. So I define the food class. The food class has some property like ID. The ID is random. Random means we have a random value, but not we don't have the two same objects inside a list. So the complexity is enum. Enum is an enumeration value which use about 3 values: simple, medium, and hard. And the duration here is the time, for example 1 minute, 2 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. And one category has any food, or one category has many food. Then one food has many ingredient. So ingredient here is a list of string. So one category has many food. So in food you must save the property of category ID. The category ID here is a reference to the ID of the category. For example, in category you have food. In category you have fruit or vegetable, and we have many food derived from the vegetable or fruit. So we set the constructor of food. The food constructor has name, URI image. URI image is an image of the food, and the duration time to process this food, to do this food, to make this food. The complexity is hard, medium, or simple. And category ID is the category ID for this food. Okay. So the ID is random from 0 to 999. So I use a random function or the random object to save this. So ID here is a random from 0 to 999. So we assign the property this.id is equal to random initialization.nextIn. The next in here is 1000. Here is from 0 to 999. So we make some fake food like sushi, URI image, duration, complexity, ingredient, category ID. And for simplifying, you copy the image from from Wikipedia or any other source from the internet. Very easy to copy and paste here. So the complexity, the duration, every food has some properties like here. And yes, we have many food inside my list. And we also have the category list. The category lists are binding to the food list. So now I must filter the food from category. For example, one category has many food and we must filter. So to filter, use where. This where function. So we define a food list. Food equal to fake food dot where. The where is a function which input a lambda expression, as a lambda expression allow you to filter from the condition. So we only specify the category ID from the list of food, and I convert to string using toString. So here we restart your application, debug your program, and move your mouse here to see the detail object. So for example, we see food. Yes, this is my food list. Click your mouse and see the detail. So we have pizza, Tona, and Napoleon pizza. Yes, we have two types with a category ID 2. So let's change a little bit. So you can expand or string the element or the widgets to see the detail. What about the ingredient? No, we firstly display the food list. So we use list view.builder, and inside this we implement the item builder for every item in the list. So item builder has context and index. The index specify each of the food. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today. Thank you so much for watching. Hello everybody. Today we continue with how to display list item with fed image, with position, and with cart. So we combine these widgets inside a list item. So firstly, in the list view, we define the list view using builder, and the item builder is a function. So the function here has two parameters, context and index. So from the index I get the foot at the foot object as the index, and I return a text. So we display a text with foot name. Yes, display a text with foot name, and we have item count. So the item count here has a length. Okay, so we show the grid, the list view with a name, with the foot name in here. So if you press to pizza, we have some food list and about this category. And after I change, so here how to show image. Yes, in this case I want to show image. How can I do this? So we call food dot URL image. So here we use a clip rect or clip rect. Clip rect has a child center, and we add the image inside this using the transparent image library. So we search for transparent image, and then I copy the fed image from here and I paste to here. I paste to. So I copy the transparent image. I copy the dependency here and open pubspec.yaml, and I paste to here. Okay. So in this case, I can load the image using this library. Yes, using this library. So we call child. We have a child of fed image dot asset network, and the asset network function has a placeholder. Placeholder is a loading image, and the image here URL image. So when the image is loading, it shows the placeholder. Okay, so the placeholder is not null, so you must specify it. So we copy a GIF file, an animation file from here. I copy this file, loading.gif. I copy this file, loading.gif, and I create a new photo, and I copy. Yes, and I create a new photo inside the asset, and I create a new I reveal photo, and I create a new images. Okay, I create a new images and paste to here. So the loading.gif is here. Then in PubSpec you add it inside by using this code. You uncomment out this code line asset. I uncomment out this code line, and here I set asset image / loading.gif. So we add image part to pubspec.yaml. Okay, and you replace placeholder here by the part, the detail part, to the loading.gif. I set the image part to here. So here you can display the loading when the internet is low, and when the loading is working. Okay, so very convenient when you want to load the image. Okay, so now I want to add a border radius. I set the border radius to 10, and I set the I use a clip rect, and the clip behavior is hard edge. We have many options for clip behavior. Yeah, you can change and see the result. Okay. So here I display, I copy, and I add it inside container. You add it inside container by set padding and you set a value for padding. You set child, yes, set child and set padding. Okay, so we paste a clip break inside the child of the container. Okay, and 10. Okay, we set the padding for up, down, left, right for about 20. Okay, yes, and I can cut this widgets and surround it inside. I can add it inside a stack. Okay, so children of the stack, and I paste to here a container. Yeah, so that container inside the children of the stack. Yes, okay. So we can add more. We add rows to here. Yeah, inside the row we have multiple children. Firstly, we have icon. The icon here we get, for example, timer, and color. It's maybe white, and size is 25. Okay, yeah, I think it is enough for setting this. Is proper. And we set the text for example, we set the text. We add the text inside the row. So firstly we have icon, and secondly we have text. Yes, and you move it up and down. Okay, so I want to add this inside the container with absolute path. How do you set it inside of absolute path? So you can copy this row, you can cut this row, and you can cut this row, and we define a position. Yes, I define a position, and top here you set the top 30 and left and 30. Okay, and I paste the child to here, and I paste to here row. I paste the row to here. Okay, so we have the text and the icon like here, and this is a way to set absolute path with position widgets. With position widgets, you can set the absolute path to here. Okay, so Command S. So if you change the top to here and the left to here, so we see here, yes, not good. You can set the text style color, yes, color white, and I also cut this child. I cut and I surround it by, for example, you can surround it by a container to set the box decoration for the container. Yes, and the child here, maybe, and I paste row to here. Yes. Okay, here, so we have a child, the icon, and the text. And we set the padding to add inset, and the value for up, down, left, right for 5%, 5 pixel, and set the decoration to box decoration. And so I set the color to black 13. Okay. So Command S to save. Then I can set the border to here, border radius, and the border radius dot circular. I set the border radius value for this. Yes, so we have the border radius with the position. Okay, and I can set the border size or the border width using border with the value of border dot all, and the color here is this color dot white. Okay, and I set the size about 2 pixels. So good. So okay, I think it is enough. And for set some property for this item using position, using container, etc. and rect. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in next lesson.